All right, let's take a look at these changes. That was posted 34 minutes ago. Damn, that was... It's fresh. It's still fresh. Can you smell this? It's changes. So it's on the PTR right now. So that means like whatever is announced won't necessarily be in there in the next patch, but obviously that's stuff that they're thinking about. So bug fixes, damage mitigated by hardened skin will now correctly be reduced to 3 at a minimum, up from 1. I didn't even know about that bug, to be honest. The second pulse from the taunt ability will no longer fire if the mountain giant is dead or affected by ability disabling effect. So that means slow is actually now useful. And like, does that apply on Acid Bomb? Balance update, hero balance changes. Oh, Keeper of the Grove entangling roots. Let me fantasize for a second before I scroll down and actually put my eyes on whatever is listed there. Let me fantasize a little bit, just in case it's a little bit disappointing. I wanna feel for a moment that, you know, these changes could actually be good. Okay, what's the best thing that they could have written? Entangled damage and duration reduced by half. Ah, come on, that's never gonna happen. Okay, let's see. Entangling roots cast range decreased from 800 to 600. That's something, I guess. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's not quite half, but... And it's only the casting range. Okay, you know what? You know, if this is the best you can offer, you know, it's like sometimes you go to the market, you hope to get some sick deals, and then you get to save like 1 or 2 cents on some fruit. It's like, it's not what I was looking for, but I guess I'll take it, all right? Developer notes, entangling roots is of high utility to the Keeper's kit. This change is intended to add a bit more risk to its use without reducing its effectiveness. The spell now has the same range as the Keeper's auto attack, which should increase the opportunity for counterplay. By counterplay, you mean getting the fuck out of here, right? Because I don't see what other counterplay there is against a Keeper whenever you know he's around, but okay. You know, I'll take it. Screw it. I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. It's something. Alchemist Acid Bomb, level 1. Decrease primary damage from 8 to 6 seconds. Total damage 120 to 90. Secondary damage 5 to 4 per second. I mean, Acid Bomb did feel strong, but it wasn't like, you know, it's the most broken thing in the game, but it's probably pretty close to it. So I'm glad. I feel like so far these numbers seem pretty good. You know, you don't want to nerf it to the point where it's like nobody would use it anymore. So primary damage from 13 to 11 per second. So total damage 195 to 165. Secondary damage. Yeah, I mean, it sounds okay so far. Like, I would have to see it in action. Maybe it's not even enough, but it could be enough. Like, honestly, it's hard to tell like this just looking at some numbers. Alchemist provides awesome AoE healing, has high hit points, is powerful enough to pick off units and debuff opponents effectively. Heroes generally shouldn't check every box for potential rolls. Yeah, say that to the Keeper and Blade Master. Reducing Acid Bomb's single target damage better focuses him in a support role. Recent tweaks to Healing Spray cemented him as a great alternative healer for any race. Great alternative healer, more like the best healer of any race at any situation. And those effects have been positive to gameplay. Yeah, okay, well, you know what, same thing, you know, I'll take it. I think it's definitely, it's good, like, you know, it's one of the needed changes. I think one of the most needed changes in WarCraft 3, that guy. So, it's gonna be interesting. It's just the Acid Bomb, though. The Healing Spray on Mountain Giants seems untouched from this. Human balance changes. Now we're in business. Now I'm starting to warm up a little bit. Piercing damage reduction increased from 50 to 65%. Love it. The in-game tooltip will show this as 50% damage taken to 35%. Yeah, I think it's pretty good because this opens new doors. In terms of on certain maps opening with a neutral hero. A lot of those don't seem as viable as playing with Archmage, but on maps with a lot of piercing creeps, you could actually now go for more Footman defense. And also, Footman defense seemed so trash in the last patch, or like in the current patch, I guess, rather, against Fiends. So now maybe they're kind of going to be back against Fiends, because like now it just felt, you know, like the worst thing in the whole game to do against Fiends is to go Footman. You would rather get anything else. Mercenaries, go straight to rifles, but yeah, Footman defense just sucked. So it should be slightly better. I like that. Developer notes there has been a drop-off in the use of defense after changes. Yeah, no shit. This change is intended to restore usage. Its original behavior relied on RNG rather than flat damage. I mean, we wouldn't want any RNG in WarCraft 3, right? We anticipate there may need to be adjustments to the percentage, so we'll be keeping an active eye on how the new defense performs. I hope they mean that they're gonna buff it more, right? Mountain Giant's base stats. Food cost increased from 6 to 7! Yes! Fuck yes. Cargo size increased from 2 to 4, so that's like for a Zeppelin. Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, to be honest, you shouldn't need like 2 Zeppelin to carry one fucking Mountain Giants. Like, just grab him by like both arm, 1 Zeppelin on each arm, and then you shouldn't be able to load up heroes with him too. Fuck. Developer notes, Mountain Giants are imposing disruptive, heavy tanks with great siege potential. That potential becomes absolute in large packs. They were never intended to be massed units. Increasing food costs will make additional giants past the first few cut more heavily into a player's army makeup, as well as push them into higher upkeep faster. Additionally, by increasing cargo size, they will match the siege engine, a fellow high durability siege damage unit. Yeah, okay, let's compare the siege engine to the giants, right? Because they're both high durability siege damage units. Kappa! I guess they kind of are, but like giants obviously have a lot more utility. Like tanks, they attack buildings. That's literally the only thing they do, unless you want to try to counter air. But nobody will be dumb enough to just stand there and take a long fight against them. Glaive Thrower, Vorpal Glaive. Developer knows the Vorpal Glaive upgrade has been bugged for some time. The main target of the Glaive Thrower always takes full damage. The area of effect from the Glaive changes from a circle into a line. Glaive can kill trees. The main target takes full damage as if the projectile were a homing shot, but the Glaive doesn't follow said target. Instead, it hits the ground like it missed and does line damage where in the packs. If we fix Vorpal Glaive to adhere to reduce damage of siege weapon to units, then researching the upgrade feels like a nerf when it exchanges radial damage for line damage. We want to address those issues by having the projectile correctly tracked and impede the main target of the Glaive Thrower. This embraces a distinctive behavior from other siege weapons, helping with our goal of pushing each race to have their own identity. We hope to have Glaive tracking their targets and ready for the next branch patch. I'm actually not exactly sure how that works, so I hope I get to find out eventually and I see like those in action and stuff. Maybe some Night Elves can enlighten me. Does that mean that Glaive, they're just going to be different, right? They're not going to be worse, I guess. If anything, it sounds like they were made slightly better because they were bugged or something. Anyway, that's not bad, honestly. Like, it's better than like adding 1 agility or something, or reducing 1 agility to something, right? Like the entangling roots, cast range decreased. We'll take that. I wonder how that's gonna look like, actually. I feel like if you're able to see, like if you scout with a footman and you see a keeper from max range, are you able to get away now, or does the keeper catch up and entangle the footman? Because that's a big deal. You want to be able to footman scout against Night Elf. Not being able to scout is a massive deal. You know, if any unit scouts in daylight against a Mountain King and they stay out of the range of the Stormbolt, they can just get away. So it should be the same with Entangle, right? I'm glad that Acid Bomb finally is touched. And Defend, that's very important for Defend to become better, I think. It was just so trash before. So, pretty happy. I'm excited to actually play with them. The thing is, on the PTR, I got like 500 pings, so I'm gonna have to wait for these changes to actually go into play on the official servers and when the patch hits to try them out.